my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright, lovelies, let's dive in today's video.
Lovelies, I came by this video on my Peo page on TikTok.
There are as many as a couple 100,000 black Jews in America today. That could well be.
Americans and also black people.
I also take exception
I'm just going to roll the clip as
with
well as
your
some of the
vast underestimation
Please leave me
of
your
how
thoughts in
many
the comment section
potential Israelites could be here in America. It shows that you have not researched this subject as well as you claim to have researched this subject. And I'm going to use one.
It could well be that there are as many as a couple 100,000 black Jews in America today. That could well be.
I also take exception with your vast underestimation of how many potential Israelites could be here in America. It shows that you have not researched this subject as well as you claim to have researched this subject. And I'm going to use one group. I'm not going to use the Akan, the Yoruba, and others. I do acknowledge that there are others. I'm going to point out something to you specifically, Dr. Brown, that you may not know. Now, if you Google how many African Americans have Igbo ancestry, you'll see right here. This is a quote from Wikipedia, but I'm going to show you some other sources in a second. This is just the first thing that comes up when you Google it. It says Chambers has been quoted saying, "My research suggests that perhaps 60% of black Americans have at least one Igbo ancestor." So that's the high end, 60%. The presence of Israelites along the Niger River had been known by Jewish authorities in the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Lithuania, and Suriname. You guys go check out my videos. I cover this. I cover all of this in multiple videos over the last few years, talking about Israelites along the Niger River and the transatlantic slave trade taking place in the exact place that Israelites were known to be. The Igbo are Israelites, and 30 to 60% of black Americans have an Igbo ancestor. Well, we have to determine how many black Americans they are. So in 2020, according to the Census Bureau, 41.6 million black Americans lived here in America. And so if we look at 30% of that number, there are 12,480,000. If we look at 60% of that number, it is 24,960,000. So somewhere between 12 million and 24 million black Americans have Igbo ancestry. And as we just read, a Sephardic Jewish organization known as the Obadiah Alliance declared Igbo to be descendants of ancient Israelites. Well, if you look at those numbers and compare them to the numbers of the people in Israel today, you will see that the number of Israelites over here potentially vastly exceeds the number of people who call themselves Jews in the land of Israel today. So your number of maybe a couple 100,000 is off. Now, let me show you how much it is off. Remember, 30 to 60% of black Americans have an Igbo ancestor. You claim that maybe a couple 100,000. So if we use a percentage calculator right here, let me see. All right. So if we put in 200,000 is what percent of 41.6 million, we get 0.48%. So it is your belief that less than a half a percent of black people here in America could be Jews, yet the numbers seem to indicate that upwards of 12 to 24 million, maybe more, are likely to be Jews.
Was a place back in 1803. They captured a bunch of Igbos, people from Nigeria, the Igbo tribe, and brought them over here to work as slaves. So what happened was these Igbos overtook the ship and they killed their captors and they ran the ship aground back over here That's Dunbar Creek, right? So they took the ship, got off, they realized they weren't going to make it, right? So instead of being captured again, they all decided to commit mass suicide by drowning themselves right over here in Dunbar Creek. This story has been around in the black community around here since 1803. The black people knew that these people made a decision to give up their lives rather than spend the rest of their life in slavery. So they were chanting to their god of the river to say, protect us, we're coming home, instead of working their lives as slaves. Well, the state of Georgia pretty much ignored that folktale, or they felt like it was a folktale by the black community. But research later on in the 20th century found out that it was actually true. And they actually had detailed accounts written by people who observed them doing it. But the state ignored it. So instead of having a big monument to such a momentous occasion, we have this. And before this, if we were to walk all the way back there, they had a wastewater treatment facility. So it was a sewage treatment facility next to a place that really should have some historic significance to our state and our country. So this is as close as we can get to Igbo landing at this stage. But we know that it happened, and now you know where it is. Okay. So that's it.
Zephaniah or Zephaniah, a Negro Israelite, a son of Cush. Zephaniah means Yahweh hides. Now, Zephaniah's father was named Cushi, and Cushi as an adjective, that means black. In both Hebrew, it means black, and in Greek, it means black. Now, Cushi is an affectionate term for a Negro of Ethiopian origin, derived from the biblical land of Cush. And it is an area that was alongside the Niger River. And if you actually look at ancient maps in 1736 and ancient maps in 1747 of Africa, you'll find a country called Negro Land and the Kingdom of Judah. This is of utmost importance for us to understand how Yahweh is gathering the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad. Because what actually happened is in this Gulf of Guinea in Western Africa, European slave ship holders, they were Ashkenazi slavers. They were of European origin. They were Western Mongols that had infiltrated Britain and mainly Portugal. They were the Ashkenazi slavers. They were wealthy merchant slavers that went down to the coast of Guinea. They employed Mohammedan trappers, Islamics, to go into the kingdom of Judah and Negro land and take the royal house of Judah captive in slave ships, as it's recorded in the book of Deuteronomy, and bring them over to America, and they became known today as what? African American.
Like, seriously, lovelies, when I saw the first video that I staged where this Pancolet man was talking about how, 65% of Black Americans are actually Jewish, and he talks about a link between them and the Igbo people in Africa. This actually, brought me back to something I saw some time ago about the Igbo people in Africa, the Igbo. So this brought me about this Igbo people. I think I knew a little bit of their history concerning, in times of slavery and all of that. So I heard some time ago that this Igbo people that is in Africa, which landed in a place where they call the Igbo landing, somewhere in, I don't know where it is, but I think I read something like that. So this Igbo people in Africa are a set of, there are set of slaves that have been, that was brought from Africa. This set of Igbo thing that has to do with Igbo landing. There were a set of, slaves that was brought from Africa. So on their way getting to their destination, these people vowed that in their own culture, they can never be a slave to someone, something like that. And they actually went ahead to go against their masters. They end up unaliving their masters. There's some set of Igbo people. I don't know if other people succeeded in taking away some part of those Igbo, slaves. So this particular Igbo one I'm talking about were the same people that, overtook their masters, unalived them. Then on getting to the land that they were supposed somewhere in north, somewhere in America or something. On getting to that land, they decided that they can never be a slave in another man's land. They cannot be a slave in another man's land. So with them, their children, their wives, they all decided that they want to go back to the river where they came from. Like, they came through a ship and all of that. They decided to go back there to drown themselves. So they chose to actually drown themselves in a river. An elderly person was the person that told me this story. So they actually decided to drown themselves in a river instead of them to be enslaved by these masters. They decided to hold hands, tie up their faces, their eyes, and all of that, and drown themselves in this is it a river or something? I think I've heard that, but I'm going to do more research about it. So they decided to drown themselves in this place. They all went back inside the river or the ocean. They drowned themselves because instead of them to become a slave in another man's land, it's better for them to drown themselves. So when I saw this video, it actually refreshed me back to this story I heard about this Igbo landing of a thing. And now he's talking about how some of the African Americans and Igbo people, like Igbo descendant, and most of them are from the Jews. In Africa, there are so many people that, I think in Africa, there are so many Jewish people. Somewhere in Africa, in Anambra, somewhere, I used to hear about them. They are not Christians. There are some parts of, so there are some parts of Jews that actually, they believe in Judaism and all of that, but they're in Africa, somewhere in Anambra. So probably this Igbo landing of a thing, they were actually not the whole, slaves that was brought from Africa that actually went into that river to drown. Maybe probably there are some sheep that, that was successfully landed and they were enslaved. Meanwhile, the other ones that actually went back to get themselves drowned are the ancestors that actually, if you check very well, you will see are the ancestors that actually, vowed not to be enslaved in another one's land. So when I saw this video of him talking about how it actually refreshed me back, it actually refreshed me back to like, maybe there were some people who actually succeeded and they were enslaved and all of that, and because of this, they're having some percentage of Igbo people that's a Black American, and some of them are Jewish and all of that. So all of these things are just, something that everybody just needs to like, refresh on all of that. A lot of things been hidden under the sun and everything is coming out. And everyone is just here trying to, dig, and sometimes I just wish I could just get it out there. But we move. So I think I've heard that story, and I decided to just bring it up here so that we all can actually, educate ourselves. If you agree with him, if you know more about this, you can just leave it in the comment section of this video, because I am all just up for, to open up. So just leave your own thought in the comment section. If you know about the Igbo landing of a thing, and if you feel that some part of, are actually from this Igbo, which are from Anambra, something in Igbo, they are Judaism, they are Jewish people. The pictures is just making me to like get confused and all of that, but I don't have seen or heard something like this from an elderly person who I sometimes ask questions. Ask questions, especially when I see an elderly person. I ask questions and all of that. That was why when I saw this Pamphlet man talking about the percentage of some Igbo people and all of that, I decided to put up this Igbo landing story, which an elderly person told me about. And I have not really confirmed that, but on seeing this, I decided to just check it out and put it up here so that we all can, learn. So if you know about this, you can just leave it in the comment section. If not, you can also leave it in the comment section. Anyways, lovelies, this is it for today. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to my channel if you're here to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload it.
And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that this channel we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We are just here for educational purposes. So please do share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.